My name's Evie Wolfe. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I thank my classmates for giving me the privilege to speak on behalf of our semester today. So, I want to talk about Siddhartha, a book written by Hermann Hesse. Siddhartha is a man who spends his life with the mission to end all suffering. In the book, the presence of a river is constant, representing the never-ending flowing change of our lives and earth, reminding us of a transition that is always within ourselves. I've experienced this change, this flowing river, over the past 4 months more than I ever have in my life. As written by the wise Hermann Hesse, that river is everywhere at the same time, at the source and at the mouth, at the waterfall, at the ferry, at the current, in the ocean and in the mountains, everywhere, and that the present only exists for itself, not the shadow of the past, not the shadow of the future. Our semester has been a river, and an incredibly turbulent one at that. We've sailed through heavy storms on this river. We've met glassy and peaceful waters, finding sanctuary on this river. We've had days where the boat would tip over so far we thought we'd fall right out, but we never did, because we're not alone. None of us have been alone. I ask you to take yourself to the source of this river. You're moving into your house, Elaine or Donahue. These, for many of us, have become a home. Now I ask you to consider what makes a home, what makes place. Maybe it's a bed you've slept in your entire life. Maybe it was the tent or the hammock you climbed in night after night on exploration week. Maybe it's your solo spot. But if I've learned one thing this semester, it's that you can take home with you. You can fold it up and put it in your shirt pocket or stuff it into your pack on a backpacking trip. Or you can bring it with you to conserve school. A sense of place is exactly that, a sense. And we found that sense through laughter and our first conversations with people who would soon become our family. We found it in the discovery of new places on campus and hammocking with friends from all over the country, discussing topics that we see through all different eyes and energies, anywhere from Vine compilations to the Trump administration. We found it sleeping on the sledding hill, waking up to gray, dewy air, and we found it when we've lost 4 members of our family, when we realized that every person here is what makes this place whole. I've watched us grow into this place like you grow into boots that are too big at first. The lakes and pines, soil and single track were so big and ominous. Now we walk the trails and are one with the air, making a home out of every step we take on a hike or every stroke in a canoe. Where I'm from in DC, our differences tend to separate us from each other. Having different views is an isolator, but here it unites. Just the other day, we sat in the student lounge for Friendsgiving, a collage of different backgrounds and upbringings, some of us from the snowy cold in Minnesota and some the breezy warmth in California, completely together in our differences. Okay, now let's go back to that river from before. Let's think about the mountains it hits. As a semester, we've hit some mountains. We watched 4 of our brothers and sisters leave before it was time for them to go. We've learned to cry and share everything with one another. We've huddled through a massive storm on exploration week, some of us in Sylvania, some on Superior, and some in the Porcupines. We all felt the storm, but didn't have to be all together for it. Only a month into the semester, we had built an invisible thread of unity, and I can't see this thread breaking anytime soon. This is because of a comfort that can serve places in front of us. The clean happiness we've found here allows an openness, not only to those who we consider ourselves incredibly close with, but anyone in the presence of this pure form of living. This type of light is contagious. We've talked in environmental science class about solving climate change with love. If we find it within ourselves to create an equal ground between humans and the planet, it'll begin to heal itself. The mountains and hills we've struck over the past 4 months have not blocked this river from flowing. It's emerged from the other side stronger and cleaner. I'm writing this speech after our final Sunday night wing Deep Roots. I'm in Badger Wing, and Deep Roots is a big thing for us, so our last one was a pretty big deal. We spent an hour and a half going around to every member of our wing and saying what we loved about them. Some of the qualities we went through were tangible and specific, like Laurel's passion for swimming and love of sunflower seeds, Hannah's incredible smile, Britta's advocacy for veganism and holistic living, and the list goes on and on. But the rest of what we saw in each other was what was ingrained in our character as people. We talked about how each of us have changed considerably and how that has rubbed off on every single person we've touched here at Conserve. We had pages and pages to say about one another, and I've watched these connections grow in every single one of you this semester. CS15 has shown me what love looks like. It looks like soccer in the snow, and it sounds like the last headlamp clicking off after we exchange that "good night, I love you guys" on a camping trip before snuggling into our sleeping bags. It's being incredibly goofy or bearing your whole soul to teaching fellows in the duty study. Love looks like bobcat wings, spending countless hours combing lice out of their hair, the smell of mayonnaise circulating through a Lane house. It's feeling welcomed into a singing circle and being asked if you're okay because the person genuinely cares that you're at peace in your life. It's an unconditional support system, one where we know that in order for us to remain whole, every cog must be functioning and its purpose must be acknowledged. What I've seen this space do for all of us in a matter of 4 months is incomparable to anything else, and I can say with a great deal of certainty that it has healed us. Within the first 3 days of school, a big bunch of people went to Sunset Bay. It was summer outside, and the pressure of meeting 59 strangers in a new place was tangible. But I hopped into a hammock with a stranger. It was Tohar, if I'm not mistaken. With our legs squished together and the strumming of ukulele in the air, the group of us didn't have to work hard to find what we had in common. From the beginning, there was something strong in our bond, the beauty of Lowenwood putting us at ease. I had come the day before from a bustling and loud city and found refuge in the conifers and lakes on campus. However, it was not just the students or the land itself that makes this place our home. There are so many people here who makes this place the greatest that it can be. Whether it was teaching fellows who were kind and welcoming from the first day and have become some of our best friends, or teachers in class who supported every question we asked and read with us outside in the snow with sit-upons and cider, administrators and student life leaders who do so much behind closed doors and care for us every day, everyone who keeps this beautiful place clean and safe for every student, we thank you. And we thank those of you who let us leave our homes, our parents and siblings, or anyone who made it possible for us to depart our lives before this to this new one for a little while. You're all the reason we've come so far, and we thank you endlessly. So I didn't believe the end of the semester was something that we would ever actually encounter. For a while, it was far away and abstract, but now it's in front of us, right in the way of our path, so we just can't quite get around it. But I've learned here at Conserve School something new. I've learned that when truly great experiences come to an end, it's not actually an ending at all. Every piece of your life is building you. The river exists for itself, not the past. I've never seen more love for the planet in one place. I see it in how my friends talk about Lake Superior or their first backpacking trips and how they found that the connection with Earth can cure you. There's also an infinite measure of love for one another. I've seen this unwavering support work its way into our lives every day. It's small things, like waking up in the morning next to someone who lives on the opposite side of the country from me. 4 months ago, I didn't know they existed, and I love them dearly, and I will continue to love them after this place. I see these relationships in all of you and how you care for one another. There's too much love here to not spread it around, and too much knowledge to hold inside of you forever. So I implore you to carry that clarity back with you after leaving Conserve. Remember the fresh conifer trees we live beside during all 4 seasons. Take that feeling on a walk with you in the city. Drop a piece off with a friend who needs it. Carry it on your back on a bike ride to school. Write it into environmental law. Send it in an email to your representative. The world is going to change with all of us out there fixing it, and I know this because the world does not change through massive and dazzling feats of one person, but the small and many essential building blocks of a community. Tomorrow, when we aren't in the comfort of the gathering space or our wings and we aren't brushing our teeth with our roommates before bed, I have something for you to think about. On Tuesday night, Gabby, a friend who has grown to become my sister, told me, "Life is long. It's the longest thing you'll ever do." And Conserve School is a part of this. It has deeply rooted itself within you, and now it's time to see what we'll do with that. Our lives will take us everywhere. Living is all you get to do, and if we spend it with the people who allow us to grow and who grow alongside with us, and if we learn more appreciation for this earth every day while we do it, I can tell you for certain your river will take you somewhere incredible. So you've just built yourself. Go show the world what you've done. Keep going. Thank you.